Hi friends, so you will see the register mix that is happening in the fire sermon, the third section of T.S. poem, The Wasteland. Why, what is, I hope that you know what is register mix after this, attending my previous lectures on register mix. Register mix means mixing different styles in the same text. For example, language used for religion, language used for mythology, language used for popular speech, language used for colloquial speech, language used for classical matters. So mixing these things, or popular music, for example, as in this case, in the case of the third section, the fire sermon. So what you find here is that mixing. What is the total effect of this mixing is fragmentation. The poem is fragmented because the poem represents a fragmented world, that's the thing. So in other words, what we said, it's an objective correlative in every sense of the term. Of course, that is coined by Eliot himself, of this fragmented world which is spiritually empty, world where there is social disconnection, world where there is no human relationship, meaningful human relationship. So to represent that, to tell us directly about these points, the poet has mixed various registers in this poem, and in this section that's what we are going to see. First we find the classical and mythological register. The title itself is the fire sermon, from Gautam Buddha's fire sermon. And then you have got the reference to Tiresias, the unifying point in this poem, or the whole poem we can say. Because past, present and future, everything is seen by Tiresias. I Tiresias, though blind, he says like that. So there is a kind of, also there is a chant-like use of language, like burning, burning, burning. Look at that, that's the thing. So that's the first mythological and mythology and classical, with a reference to classical topics and so on. And second is religious and religious register. You can see the poem, the section echoes both Eastern and Western spirituality. For example, you have got a renunciation of desire. The world caught within desire, burning desire, and especially burning desire is what we can see, or what usually associated with sex, and then the renunciation of desire. That is Eastern philosophy or Eastern spirituality. And Western spirituality is here symbolized by or represented by Saint Augustine. He says sin and purification. He says no. Oh Lord, thou pluckest me. Oh Lord, that means influence of God on him, and then renunciation of desire and purification of his mind. So you again see the third type of language that is used is colloquial, everyday speech. In that, I don't say famous, but most important passage in the fire sermon, as you can see, is the typist and the landowner's clerk. Well, now that's done. I am glad it is over. Casual and conversational, or you can say colloquial, everyday speeches. And exploring hands encounter no defense. The simple language, that is. So that is mechanical relationship, especially between a man and a woman. Fourth, of course, is the urban and industrial register, that is industrial imagery, description of London life, unreal city, dirty river, oil and tar, say sweating, the river sweating, oil and tar. So this is the industrial and polluted city life is described like the unreal city. It is described, so he is using such kind of language. And fifth is the vulgar and musical but vulgar. Oh, the moon shines bright on Mrs. Potter and her daughter. That is so vulgar, isn't it? And also, but at the same time it is musical. And of course the last one is you get the literary and poetic. For example, you find the reference to back, we are got in memory of the famous Spencer lines, Prothalamion and Ptolemy, those poems, and in there it's a sweet thames run softly till I end my song and so on. And so, you also find this kind of dirty language as you can see. See in the case of Smyrna Merchant, this description of Eugenides, this Smyrna Merchant, and also you find the violation of Philomela, the violation of Virgin Philomela, and at the same way you find the highly elevated incidents as we have seen Elizabeth and Leicester passage. So mixing and remixing, we can say. That's what's happening in the third section of the poem. Now what the total effect is? Fragmented life and a fragmented poem. So finally we can conclude like this, see. It's a fragmentation of modern world, modern civilization, modern culture, and you have got the uncontrolled desires of human beings, then contrast and irony. That is what you find is that the violation on the one side, but on the other side you find a happy relationship between Elizabeth and Leicester, and like that, that's a contrast. And spiritually empty, the world spiritually empty, a mechanical type of relationship you find the typist, and social disconnection also you find the typist and the landowner's club, and these are the things that the poet wants to present before us vividly and also very dramatically. And that's the reason why the poet has mixed various registers in this section of the poem. I hope it is very clear to you. Now look at the body, you find again, I have already summed up the whole thing. Classical and methodological, you find the title itself from the fire sermon of Gautam Buddha, sermon of Buddha, then you find the reference to Tiresias. Religious echoes of both Eastern and Western philosophy, Buddhist renunciation of desires, Christian sin and purification, that is about life of St. Augustine. And third is colloquial and everyday speech, the typist and the landowner's clerk, mechanical relationship. Already I told you, that is exploring hands encounter no defense, and when that's done, I am glad it's over. And now you have the urban and modern description of London life, and polluted river, unreal city. Popular music, casual, over the moon shone like Mrs. Porter and her daughter. Literary and poetic, the Thames daughter's passage, sweet Thames run softly. And why? The total effect is to create an objective correlative for a fragmented world, to create irony and contrast and give a shock to the modern world, people living in the modern world, to present social disconnection and spiritual emptiness, to present degradation of culture. So a fragmented poem, a dramatic representation of fragmented world, empty of spirituality, emotion and objective correlative. I think now it's clear to you. We have yet to enter the poem line by line, but before this, it's a kind of introduction. Hope that you followed me and you have enjoyed this class. Bye.